Welcome to Telford, Utah.
Wellington, one of the country's oldest market towns, used to have a cinema by the franchise chain company Clifton. This Clifton cinema, which was located on Bridge Road in Wellington, opened its doors for the very first time in January 1937, with their first film showing being the 1930s classic Captain January, starring Shirley Temple. The Art Deco interior of the cinema boasted 995 red velvet seats and a screen measuring 12 metres wide, though today this is small compared to our modern cinema's 20-metre screens and almost infinite collective number of seats. But even back then, the Clifton cinema truly found its place amongst the people of Wellington and Telford.
I mostly went to the Clifton as a child in the 60s and sometimes as a young adult. The usherette guided you to the seat with a torch and served ice cream from the front at the interval. She also kept guard for bad behaviour. There were 3 categories of film. U was for anyone, including children. A was for the older people or children accompanied by an adult, and X-rated for adults only.
In the mid-1970s, the Clifton cinema went through changes. They got a new projector, a newly installed bar and cafe, which in turn improved the cinema experience for all of their guests.
It was a great experience, catering for a good variety of people and youngsters. From the age of 11, I went on Saturday mornings for the children's matinee, a mix of cartoons, cowboys, drama and slapstick.
As great as everything was, the cinema closed its doors in 1983, and the building was purchased by the supermarket Save Right. The building was partly converted into a grocery store, but the screen and seats were still in their original state. In May 1987, the Clifton was given life again, and during this time they were showing some fantastic classics and new films. Films like The Sound of Music, E.T., Star Wars, Jaws, The King and I, and one of my personal favourites, Monty Python, The Life of Brian. But then, in the cold month of December 1988, the Clifton cinema closed its doors for the very last time. The Clifton was clearly an important part of most people's lives in Wellington, since it was a place where you could see new and old films on the big screen with your friends and family. In my opinion, cinema is vital to a community because it can show us alternative ways of thinking, seeing, and even hearing the world in a different way when we find ourselves walking out from the cinema back into the real world. The Clifton in Wellington may have gone, but the cinema spirit still lives on in Wellington. Like a phoenix rising from its ashes, the Orbit has taken the spirit of the Clifton and given it new life once again, bringing cinema back to the market town of Wellington. For the first couple of years since its opening, the Orbit has truly strived to be different from its big chain cinema counterparts by using original artworks in their cafe from local artists, and they even have Q&A sessions with special guests and cinema industry experts. In November 2021, they had a showing of the cult classic film Donnie Darko, and one of the executive producers, Chris J. Ball, showed up to answer some questions from the audience. This was great on their behalf, since a group of eager college media students came in to quiz him on the film industry. The Orbit have recognised the growing talent in Wellington and have started a social network event that takes place every so often, and this gives creative people in Wellington a chance to make connections with other like-minded people to create even more amazing content. The Orbit is a fantastic place for those that love and appreciate cinema in its purest form.
The Orbit is a fantastic asset to Wellington. It's very clean, comfortable and affordable. It's great to be able to eat there before or after the film. The staff and volunteers are really helpful and show a wide variety of films, including recently released films that include both blockbusters and smaller but brilliant films that do not always get shown by the big chain cinemas. A wonderful asset to the Wellington community.